everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Backstreet Lounge. I'm your host, Melissa Estelle, and today is a very special edition of the Backstreet Lounge because I am interviewing my good friend, Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hello. How's it
Hi,
going?
Nikki and I go way, way back. We have
Way
known each
back.
other since middle school.
Yep. That was a million years ago.
Yes, I'm not going to say how old we are now, but it's been a long time.
Yes, for sure. I was in seventh grade and you were in sixth grade when we met. When
Whew,
we met in
yes,
choir.
that's right. That's right, in
Yep.
choir.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but
It
those were
really
really good
was.
times. And you were actually the one that introduced me to the Backstreet Boys.
Yep. Sure
So
was. I
I,
introduced a lot of people to the Backstreet Boys, actually.
you did,
And I'm
and that
very
is
proud of it.
all part of your rather epic origin story as a fan, which I was really hoping you would share with everybody today.
I can definitely share my origin stories. So, first, I want to say the reason why I kept getting on Melissa is because her and I had similar interests with music in general and then being in choir, and I totally loved her. And I just wanted everybody to be a Backstreet Boys fan, and I wanted everyone to understand how amazing they were, because at that point in time, not nobody, but they weren't really known in the US at that time. So you and I met, it was in the mid
96, maybe,
yeah,
is when you
mid
and I met.
90s or so. It's right before they like hit it in the US. And I had already been a fan for a couple years. But I remember you were like refusing at first, and I
Hmm.
finally you gave into it, and you were like, I don't remember exactly what you said, but it was you listened to him and then you were like full blown I'm a fan.
I was so resistant. I was very much into my musical theater, and I was not into the boy bands. And I thought, ugh, no, I don't want to listen to these boy bands. But they were on the radio, and I was like, okay, Nikki likes them. I'll give them a listen. And yeah, they were good. You couldn't deny it. They were really good.
Yep,
So you
definitely.
were right.
I know, thanks.
You were right.
I'm not right about a lot of things in life, but I'm definitely right about the Backstreet Boys.
Yes,
So, my origin story is different than, and I know you've heard the story a million times, but I like telling it.
that's okay.
So, the reason I enjoy telling it is because my origin story is very different than most of their fans that have been fans for a long time. And I don't want to take that away from anybody. Everybody that's a fan is a fan. Everybody matters, of course, everybody's story matters. But mine starts when I was about 10 or 11 years old. So this we're talking 93 and 94. One of my really close besties, her and I were together all the time. And somehow she got her hands on a cassette tape. And she called me and she said, "Hey, Nikki, come over to my house. I got this cassette tape. I don't know what's on it, but come over and we'll listen to it." So she played it, and it was the Backstreet Boys, obviously. They were just little babies, just like we were. And it was them on some local radio station talking about who they were, what they're doing, where they're from, all the stuff. And then they're asked to sing something for the people. And they sang a cappella, and it was Just to Be Close. My ears and my heart just felt all of it. And so,
I
on
got
being
you.
a singer myself and being in choir, I just immediately recognized the harmony and the talent and everything. So, for me, it was purely off of their vocal ability and that sound that only the Backstreet Boys can give to us.
Hmm.
And I just knew, like, man. And her and I just automatically were like, oh my god, who are these guys? Ah, they're so good. So we had just that cassette tape for 2 years before we even knew what they even looked like. And one day, her sister had some like Bop and Tiger Beat pictures up on her wall of
Yeah.
bands that she liked. And I look over her wall just looking at all the cute guys, you know. I see this picture and it says the Backstreet Boys. And I was like, what? Oh my god, no way, that's them. That's what
That's
they look
them.
like. So, of course, them being attractive boys or young men or whatever you want to call them at the time, me and my friend Joy were like, I'd love for them just elevated even more. And I still have the picture.
The actual
What?
picture from that moment?
Yep. Her
Oh my
sister
gosh.
gave it to me. So I'll show it to you. It's the
Oh my
monkey bar
gosh.
picture.
I love that you have the actual picture. I was going to ask.
Yeah, so this is the actual one that was on her sister's wall. And I asked her, can I have that? Because we were like, you know that cassette tape we listened to all the time on repeat? I told her that's who they were. She's like, oh yeah, of course you can have it.
I love that you can actually pinpoint a moment where you were able to put the voices to the face.
Yep.
Because I don't think that probably most fans know that moment for themselves. But it was like a pivotal moment for you because you only
Hmm.
had the voice for so many years. And then all of a sudden, there's the faces. That's
Yep.
really special, I think. That's really
Yep.
cool.
Exactly. And it took a little while to like figure out whose voice was what name, because
Yeah. It
they
took
were,
more work back then. It's much
yeah,
easier
back then we
these
didn't
days.
have social media back then to,
Yeah, we don't have
just go
YouTube. We
and
didn't have any of that.
search it. This was even before Google. It was before Ask Jeeves and all that. So
Hmm.
there were like the internet was just kind of starting to become a thing. So we didn't
Yes.
have everything at our fingertips. We had to
That,
go
that
seek it
that is
out.
how old we are. So, what would you say are some of your favorite memories from that time? From when they were just coming out, it's the excitement has hit the US and other people are starting to agree with you that they're amazing. What are some of your memories from that time?
So I actually really enjoy kind of having to seek them out to see them. Like I wasn't fortunate as a kid, and neither she was like financially. But somehow her family had satellite TV or direct TV. So she discovered Munch Music in Canada and MTV Europe and all these other things. So that's how we finally started getting to like see them do like live performances and some of their music videos and stuff that hadn't been released yet in the
Nice. You got to
US.
see some of the good stuff then.
Yeah, like we got to see
Wow.
some. She had a thing set on her satellite or DirecTV or whatever where she could click on all of the things that the Backstreet Boys were gonna be on. I remember seeing the "Quit Playing As With My Heart" video for the first time, and I loved Howie back then. So of course the part where he's, you know,
Yeah.
showing himself as a young girl, you're like, oh my gosh, eek. So
They
that
still
kind
give
of
him so much crap for that music video because he's just gyrating in the rain. It's so
right.
it's so gratuitous. It was great.
I mean, he's not the only one that's shirtless in it, but they show him
No.
really up close. Like, oh wow, okay,
Yeah, he
they did
went
that
for
on
it.
purpose.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so that's definitely it. And then my very first time getting to see them in concert, they played at the Puyallup Fair, and they opened for Montel Jordan. And my grandmother bought me tickets to it. My wonderful, amazing grandmama. I went by myself. Nobody went with me. She waited outside in the car. That's what she used to do. She'd take me to all my concerts and shows, and she would wait outside in her car.
She didn't party with you?
No. So yeah, and I remember their set being really short. I don't remember all the inner workings of it because it was so long ago, but I do remember how young they were
Hmm.
because this was in like 94, 95, and I remember them singing a cappella. And I just remember standing there like, oh, gosh, these people have no idea what they're watching right now. Like they're so good. These people don't understand.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I
saw
remember
the
it driving me
potential.
crazy that I felt like nobody understood how amazing they were, except for me and Joy. And we were like in our own little bubble of loving them, and the world was trying to catch up to it.
And now look where they are. See, you told them.
Yep, exactly.
See,
See,
you were right.
I was right.
Again.
I still am. And so this is from their very first tour, their very first U.S. tour. Not the one where they opened for Montel Jordan. This is their first U.S. tour. I had bought the lanyard with the laminate. I had that lanyard for over 20 years. And one day it literally just disappeared. And I'm so heartbroken about it because it's the first thing I ever bought at a concert of theirs. So I'm so sad that I can't find the actual lanyard. But I still have the laminate.
That's
There's the
awesome.
front. There's the back.
1998. That's
Yep.
awesome.
So there's that. And then you were there for my 16th birthday party, and I had a Backstreet Boy themed cake. I found, so they didn't like put a print of the picture on there like made of icing. They put actual pictures on there that my grandmother had given to them. So these are the pictures that were on my 16th birthday cake.
That's awesome. Oh, look at Howie. He's so
I
cute.
know, look at his cute little adorable self. They're all so young.
They are.
They've aged very well, just like we have.
Yes.
And so I don't know if you were a part of this, but do you know about this book?
It looks
So
familiar.
it's backwards, of course, on the screen, but it's called Fans of the Millennium. So this, back in the day, was put on through their website, and you had to fill out this whole long, huge questionnaire. Then, if you were selected, they would pick answers they liked, and they put it in this book. So this book is all Backstreet Boys fans. Yeah, so there's all different things. So like crazy stories, like I shared my Millennium one with the helicopter tickets and that, so my story is in there. If you look at the top, that's all the times that I appear in this book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So like one of them, let's see. So my 16th birthday cake, whoop, my picture of my bedroom is in here. Right there.
Oh, look at you.
Yep. I have that picture somewhere. And then there's like one or two places, and I think Joy is in here like once. So, how I got so lucky to be in there multiple times, I don't know.
What year did that come out?
I think probably 2000 or 2001. Oh, look. There's a Christina Aguilera poster in here. Because again, I loved her too. She's still probably by far my favorite female singer of all time.
Well, I mean, she's incredible.
Yeah. And as a vocalist, she is... Man, yeah.
She's still killing it, too. She's incredible.
She's right up there with Whitney and Mariah and Etta James and all those other iconic singers that I've always looked up to. She's that status to me.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
So, which tours have you been to of theirs? And what are some of your favorite memories from those tours?
I have been to every single one. We have been lucky enough that they have been to Washington State every tour that they have had. I don't know how we got that lucky, knock on wood. Hopefully that will always continue. I think maybe it's because generally they sell out pretty much every single time that they're here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The only show that I missed was the Las Vegas residency that they did back in 2016, 2017.
Yeah, it was like
whatever that was.
17, 18, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's
missed
their
that too.
only tour-ish type thing that I missed, and I still regret it to this day. But honestly, I remember stuff from like every single show. When they had their first U.S. tour, that was at the Key Arena, which is now Climate Pledge.
Oh, that's right.
And I remember Joy and I went to that, of course. Mind you, this is when they finally were starting to pick it up. I got bullied in school for liking them because nobody else knew who they were. Like, I had some pictures on my binders, the clear binders and stuff. People would, like, rip my stuff, but I got teased for liking them.
Well,
And then
our
all of a
middle
sudden
school
they
was
started...
pretty terrible.
Yeah, middle school is horrible. I mean, I got teased for multiple things, but being a Backstreet Boys fan was one of them. And then, like, a year or two later, they started blowing up, and everybody was a fan, and I'm like... Rude, you were just making fun of me for that last year. But, yes, their first U.S. tour, where each of them had a solo. And that's where we saw AJ perform his Lay Down Beside Me song. Which I just recently found out from his, I don't know if it was his TikToks or something, where AJ was talking about recording that song. And how he was like 14 or 15 recording that song.
Oh,
And he was recorded it in Johnny Wright's closet.
Oh my gosh, I missed that.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
and at the end he says, no 15-year-old should be singing this song.
No.
And of course, back then we didn't realize that. And now we're like, whoa, dude. 15-year-old definitely should not be singing that song. But yeah, so seeing, all the different solos, it was nice to see Kevin kind of shine a little bit too, because him and Howie were, especially back then, the record
Hmm.
labels kind of put them on the back burner a lot, which is
Yeah.
crazy because when they started, Howie was actually deemed as the lead singer,
Hmm.
which I don't know how all that changed. I'm sure Lou and the record label had a lot to do with that, but
Yeah, it had to
um,
do more when they got into kind of their funky sound. I think they kind of pushed Nick and AJ up more,
yeah,
and Howie just kind of fell back. And I mean, it was all organized and understood at the time. It's just unfortunate because he was
yeah.
so talented.
Yeah, I mean, all five of them are crazy talented. So during that first US tour, it was nice to see each of them get their moment to shine. I remembered each of those performances like the most out of that entire show. And AJ, because his nickname was Bone, back then the Mariners had a player on their team named Jay Buhner, and his nickname was Bone. So the Mariners had these blow up bones that said Bone on it for Jay Buhner. And at the beginning of the show, AJ came out holding that up in the air that said Bone on it.
I had forgot all about that. That is hilarious. I
Yep.
forgot about that.
Yeah, it was one of the many things that I noticed, but the solos on that are like the things that stood out the most to me. After that was the Millennium tour, and that's of course when everything was exploding like crazy for them in
Yes.
their career and just the era of pop music in general.
That had to be
Um
absolute pandemonium to be at that show in the
yeah.
best way.
Yeah, so they had two shows for that tour here at the Tacoma Dome. And I remember staying in line back then when you would stand in line to get concert tickets and going up to buy mine and Joy's ticket after being in line for hours and hours and hours and hours. We somehow managed to get the very last tickets for the entire show
Oh
out of
my
the two
gosh.
days. They were the last tickets. So her and I didn't even get to sit next to each other at the concert. But we didn't care. We were going.
You got to be there.
That happened that same year or the following year for the NSYNC tour as well.
Oh my gosh.
We got separated and had to sit in different spots too. Which whatever, we still had a good time. And then the second show, I never win anything, okay? I somehow won tickets from the radio to the second Millennium show. So how that worked out, I don't know.
Because you deserve it. That's why.
Yeah. So, and I remember hoping and praying, like, please let it be the next day. Don't let it be the same one. Uh, and you'd figure a radio would give you, like, really good tickets.
Oh.
No. I was still, like, all the way back in the nosebleed.
Was it
But
at least
whatever,
two
I was still
tickets
there.
together or was it one?
That was two tickets together, so Joy and I actually got to be together
Okay.
for that one.
Okay.
And then, of course, remembering them flying in on their hoverboards and their futuristic looking blue outfits and whatnot. And they're having more of a live band there and them interacting with the band more. Like, the whole tour was super iconic, of course. Black and Blue, of course. So that would have
Mhm.
been, most people considered it like their third album, but it was technically like their fourth album.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you have to
Um,
count everything that they did in Europe first, and a lot of
yeah, like the
Americans
Red Album
don't.
is technically their first album.
Mhm.
But yeah, Black and Blue. I remember Joy and I were on the side of the stage, but we were like kind of up high.
Mhm.
Her and we saw some seats empty. Even though the show was sold out, we were kind of like watching them. Nobody ever showed up to those seats, so we went down and it ended up being right at the edge of the wing right there where the guys were like leaning down and like
Oh
touching
man.
hands and on all kinds of stuff. So that was our first experience getting to like interact with them a little bit and like get some eye contact and whatnot. And Howie almost touched my hand, and of course, since he was my favorite back then, I was like, oh my god, he almost touched me, So
Yeah. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
so that
That's
was a
so
good
exciting
one.
because you were how old at that show?
I would have been 18, or I was just about to turn 18.
So
Yeah.
that's very, very exciting for
Yeah.
18-year-old Nikki.
Yep.
Oh.
And let's see. Oh, in 2005, I got to see them twice. So the Never Gone tour, which this is when things were like starting to die, had like died down for them in their career. They had played at an amphitheater kind of close to Oregon, but it was here in Washington. And I remember the amphitheater was pretty small, but it was their first time I had seen them in an amphitheater, though. So the aesthetic was a little different. And then also that year, they were back at the Tacoma Dome doing the Jingle Bell Bash that Kiss 106.1 used to do. And they were the headlining band. So I was super excited about seeing them twice that year. I thought it was like a special little prize for me. So after that was Unbreakable. And that one super stands out because that was the first album and the first tour without Kevin.
How did that feel being at a show where Kevin
Yeah, it
wasn't there?
was. You could tell that something was missing.
Yeah.
Like they still sounded like them, but it felt different and they sounded different, and they played a much, much smaller venue. This was off below Amphitheater, but it was at Merrimore Park. And it's basically just like playing at a park, pretty much, you know. So they had really died down then. So that was interesting. And then they had the This Is Us tour. So that was the second album and tour without Kevin. So This Is Us was at the Showwire, which that's actually pretty decent. Like our minor league hockey team plays there. It's a decent venue. We had floor seats to that, but it was the first time that I noticed their show wasn't sold out.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a lot of empty rows in front of us. So Joy and I kept sneaking closer and closer and closer and closer.
I
And
would
we
have done the
got
same thing.
We got to probably like row 10 or 15 and whatnot. And I remember them pulling fans up on stage while they sang and played acoustically. So that was pretty cool. So the two after that was the NKOT BSB. So things were starting to ramp up for them now because of that tour. Because New Kids and Backstreet Boys became like this super group.
Yes.
And of course there's jokes about the way the stage looked. I don't know, did you go to that show?
Oh, no. I wasn't able to
No.
go to that show. No.
So, without being too descriptive,
No, go for it. Let's hear
fans
it.
that went to that show will know that it looked like a penis, okay?
I'll throw up a picture of it so everybody can
Yeah.
see.
So everybody was joking about it. I actually had pretty good seats. I actually got to have interaction with the guys from New Kids, and
cool.
I had never seen them live before, so it was really cool seeing how they perform and how they interact with each other and how they interact with the fans.
I would love to see them live someday, too.
Yeah, they have a Vegas show right now too, so
No.
I know, but we'll talk about that later. But
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
it was awesome seeing how they interacted with each other. Again, Kevin was still missing, and I remember having thoughts of like, man, I can't believe Kevin's missing this. Like, all 10 of them should be performing together. But I know that there were shows that he showed up to and
Yeah.
performed like a couple of songs with him because I'd seen him on YouTube and whatnot. I remember the WAMU was when Kevin had come back. So that was This Is Us. So I remember every time Kevin spoke, everybody would lose their mind. Like, anytime he had a solo, we would all lose our mind.
They were just so happy he was there.
Yeah, and you could feel it too. Like, I remember feeling that, and I remember being like, this is the Backstreet Boys. Feeling like that sound that had been missing, it was finally back again.
Yeah.
I remember that. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional talking about it. Like,
Because you lived through that. You actually were there feeling it. So it's
Yeah.
real.
yeah, it was very. I mean, I remember when they announced on MTV, I believe it was, that he was stepping back from the group, and I remember crying because we all thought it meant that they were going to break up. Thank God that has never happened.
I
To
know.
anybody that thinks the Backstreet Boys have ever broke up, they never have.
Never.
Never ever. That is the worst thing you can ever say to a Backstreet Boys fan. Because
Yep, they've never broken up. There have been some
never broken up.
lulls, but they've always been together.
Always. Yep. There's a reason they've been around for 32 years going strong. So then they had their Las Vegas residency in between there. And then, of course, 2019 DNA.
DNA, that was a very, very special tour for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, both of them were. So I was gonna make sure that Joy and I finally got to meet them. It was like our dream since we were 10, 11 years old to meet them together and get front row to their show. And so that first leg of the DNA tour, we were front and center of the circle pit. So much interaction with the guys. Got sang to, I don't even know how many times. The part where like AJ was sitting like on the stage and singing stuff.
Hmm.
He was eye contact with me the whole first part of the song.
You got some amazing video from that
Yeah.
show. We can share
Yeah.
some of it too
I
if you
have
want.
I have probably 3 clips where you can see like AJ's directly singing to me, and
Yes.
it was amazing.
He's practically in your lap in some of those pictures. He's just right there.
I
They're
know.
great pictures.
It was awesome. And then the guys like kind of running by and like touching everybody's hands and yeah, but that was my first meet and greet experience. And I was a deer in headlights for sure. I did not. I know we know the tricks now
Hmm.
because that was a faux pas. I didn't do research ahead of time like I should have. I didn't think about what I was going to say ahead of time like I should have. Joy and I were just, oh my God. And I remember walking around the corner, and the first person I saw was Howie. And Howie was my teenage crush, of course. So it was kind of like, ah, you're real. You exist. You're
And,
not just.
and it's different from seeing them, performing on stage to just seeing them standing there, just being a person in front of you.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then, like, he hugged me. I was literally a deer in headlights. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think. Like, I was frozen. AJ, I think, was the next one. Of course, I'm more of an AJ girl these days, and he gives such good hugs. And he
He's
was
a
like, "Hi,
hugger.
sweetheart. Nice to meet you." And then they stopped right there. We took a picture. And then apparently I hugged Nick. Apparently I hugged all of them. And I got a hug from Brian, and I got a hug from Kevin. Kevin gives the best hugs ever. I never once looked at Nick's face, though.
Oh,
That first experience, I was not convinced that I met Nick Carter.
he
Because
was
I never
there,
looked at
but
his
it didn't
face.
happen.
Yeah. And I remember once it was said and done and like walking away, it was kind of like, oh my God, I just met the Backstreet Boys, blah, 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 blah. Like being so excited about it, but also disappointed in myself because all I said was, hi, my name's
Oh,
Nikki.
all that
That's
build up.
all I said. And Joy and I had these cute matching shirts that said, I still love BSB. And I got to have that with her,
Yeah,
you know. So that was, yeah, it was pretty big. And the second leg of DNA
was in 22
was in
for
22. It was
us.
supposed to be in 2020, but of course,
Hmm.
the magical world of COVID.
Yep, it kept getting pushed back and back and back.
Yeah. And then it was pushed to 2021, the day before my wedding. It,
That's right.
yep. And I remember everybody telling me, "You're still gonna go to that?" And I'm like, "You think my wedding is gonna stop me from seeing the Backstreet Boys?
It's like you don't know
No,
me.
you trust me. Nothing's stopping me from seeing them like
And
that.
I'm sure
No,
your husband just fully expected you to go too. Like, I'll see you at the wedding. Okay.
100%. When I got the date, because I remember when they said they were rescheduling it, and I was just like, it's like, oh, we'll have my bridal shower at a Backstreet Boys concert. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Backstreet Boys one night, wedding next day sounds perfect to me. So, but I mean, it worked out for the best though, because we had a tragedy happen in my family 2 days before my wedding. So, I mean, I still would have gone, even if that concert was still going on, even with the tragedy that happened. But it made my wedding a lot harder and all that. So, I don't know. Maybe it would have brought some happiness to the sadness that I was going. My whole wedding was really difficult because of that. But yeah, so they rescheduled it to 22.
Hmm.
And then you and I went together. Well, we
Yep.
stayed together, and we were pretty much together the whole time.
Yeah.
And we got to experience meet and greet again
Yep.
together. We took our pictures separately, but I
Yeah.
remember telling you about my experience. So you and I had done research about what to
Yes.
expect.
Yes, how to make the most of your meet and greet experience and some of the secrets, and we did it right that time.
Yep, we sure did. I finally prepped what I was going to say. We should tell them the secret to meet and greets.
We can tell the secrets. Everybody else shares secrets.
The key to meet and greets, whether it's Backstreet Boys or anybody else, the first key is knowing what you're going to say ahead of time. The second part is when you walk up, put your back to the camera and face the artist or actor or whoever it is that you're doing a meet and greet with, because otherwise the people are gonna try to push you through super fast and just get the picture done, and you're not gonna be able to say what it is that you want to say to this person that you maybe have waited your entire life to say.
Yes, because they can't take your picture if your back's to the camera, and it gives you that moment to get their attention 100%. They're going to be looking at you, and you can say what you want to say. They're not going to say, "Not right now, turn around, we got to take the picture."
Mm-hmm.
That's your chance. Back to the camera, look
Yep,
at the artist.
exactly. So, and you went before me, right? Or did you go after me?
You,
No, I went before you.
I
You went
went, I
after
went
me.
before.
That's right.
No, I think I went before you because I was filming you after you were done.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. So I don't remember word for word what I said, but I've been through some pretty tragic things in my life, and the Backstreet Boys have been a big part of me getting through that. So I said a lot of things about that, and the amazing thing about them is they are exactly who you think they are. They listen to every single word that you have to say. They don't interrupt you. They want to hear what it is that you have to say to them because they very much know that they have their career because of their fans, aside from their hard work. They love us as much as we love them. They've made that very known how much they love their fans. And all of them were listening to every single word. Kevin was like slowly getting closer and closer to me, like really trying to listen to what I was saying. I kind of got emotional, and Kevin wrapped his arms around me, gave me like the best hug, and he was like, "You are such a strong, brave person, and I'm so happy that you are here. Thank you so much." And I just told him thank you so much, and he got teary-eyed and emotional with me. And AJ got a little emotional too. A couple of the guys got very emotional with me, and it was just such a beautiful moment to share with each of them. And after we were done being emotional, I was like, "Okay, guys, can we have like a group hug picture?" And they said, "Absolutely." And AJ goes, "Come here." And he like grabbed me and pulled me into him, and like pretty much in my picture, it's like hogging me all to himself.
It's the best picture. It's an amazing
Yeah.
photo,
It was,
especially for that moment.
yeah, it was great. So I got to say these amazing things to them. And I remember when I walked out, I sat and cried for like 10 minutes because it was such an
I remember
emotional.
when you came out from behind the partition, because you were crying and the guys were, emotional. You came out, you said, "I said words."
Yeah,
You were
I did. I
you were
said
so
words.
happy and proud of yourself.
Yeah, that was part of the emotion because I actually said stuff that time. But yeah, and then the show, of course, you and I were at the tip of the diamond right there, and got some
Front and center.
amazing pictures, and we had got some good interaction from them too. I remember
Yeah.
when Brian did this to you.
Yeah, it was so cute. Because I was just in the moment there. I was looking up like this, and he came up to the front and he goes, "Oh,"
Yep,
it was so
it
cute.
was really adorable. I have that embedded into my head because I had just looked at you, so I knew that he was doing that to you. It
Yeah,
was
it
so
was
cute.
really cute.
But yeah, that show was amazing. And then, of course, that's all the group shows, but I got to do, you and I went to the AJ and Joey Legendary Night together. And
That was
we
awesome.
went and saw Nick together. We did the meet and greets for that. So I got that same personal interaction that I got with them the
Hmm.
previous group interaction. Mine and AJ's
Yeah.
interaction was, we were 100% flirting. I don't care what anybody says. He hugged me
Do
like
you do
three
you want to
times.
talk more about that meet and greet?
Yeah. So, we both pre-planned. It was at a casino in Oregon, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
At Grand Ronde, Oregon. I don't remember the name of the
Yeah.
casino right
And
now.
the show, first of all, the show was amazing.
Hmm.
They both were amazing. Joey was stunning. Like his voice.
That was my first time seeing Joey or any of the NSYNC guys,
Mhm.
and I fell in love. I was so glad that I got to see him because it was amazing.
Yeah. He was so cool. And then they're like, we've known that Joey and AJ are friends, but seeing
Oh
how they
yeah,
interact with each other and how they're goofballs with each other, but they put together this
yeah,
amazing show. Their whole band, all of those musicians were very talented. They
yes.
had a whole horn section too. Shoot, it was so good. Just everything, like a little variety show. I loved it. But yeah, the meet and greet with AJ, I had thought about stuff ahead of time. My husband had this shirt made for me that said "Be authentic." If anybody knows AJ's story, then you'll understand the meaning of "be authentic." Melissa had braided my hair for me, and I did my hair all cute and all that stuff. And I walked up, and I had these blinged out glasses on because we know AJ collects glasses too, and he likes to dress different and kind of stand out, and I'm the same way. So I remember he looked at me and he kind of stepped back and he goes, "Ooh, damn, your whole everything. This is a whole vibe. I love it. I love your whole vibe. Everything is great. It's amazing." And
He felt it, yeah.
I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And he gave me like a huge hug. I just expressed to him that I was really proud of him for finding his true authentic self and sharing his story and his journey with us and never keeping that from us, when
Hmm.
he very well could have. And that
Oh
I was
yeah.
very proud of him for doing that. And he's the one that I looked up to, and him and the guys have helped me find my true authentic self through the journey that I've also gone through. So we just kind of shared this mutual understanding of discovering yourself as a person, you know. And so we talked for like a couple of minutes. It was pretty awesome. And then he was like, "Okay, what kind of picture do you want to take?" I was like, "I don't know." And he goes, "Well, because we're one of a kind, we're gonna do one like this and put our back to back." So we took that picture. And normally you only get one picture. So he hugged me again and he goes, "And a huggy picture." He was so cute about
Yep,
it.
one more, one more.
"And a huggy picture. One more."
Because he couldn't get
He
enough.
couldn't get enough of me. It's okay, I can't get enough of him either. But so then we have that second picture together where he completely engulfed himself around me in the picture. It's such a good hug. And then before I went to walk away, he looked at me and he goes, "I just think that you are a really special person. And I feel like you need to know that." And I was like, "Oh, thank you. I think you're a really special person too." And so I went to walk away and he grabbed my hand and gave me another hug. And this one was more embraceful, I guess.
It was probably very genuine and
It was
natural,
very
not like,
genuine.
I'm not hugging a fan, I'm hugging this person,
Yeah,
I
and
think.
that's how he made me feel. Like our conversation felt like a conversation with a friend,
Hmm.
not like a fangirl thing, you know?
Yeah.
And again, he listened to every word I had to say. He actually interacted with me and was in the moment, like all the guys are, because they're just amazing. So that was the interaction action with him. And I know you had a great interaction too.
I did. It wasn't as long as yours, but I saw him after you, and so he turned and looked at me, and my hair was red then as well,
Mm-hmm.
but it was much brighter red. And so he was like, "Whoa, I love your hair." So I think he just looks for unique little things for everybody that comes up, and that was just mine.
Yeah.
I said a lot of similar things, just that I so appreciated him sharing his story with everybody and how genuine he was and how much he supports people in their recovery and sharing his story and just how much he inspired me over the years. And I can't remember word for word what I said, but it was much more eloquent than I'm being right now.
Yeah, same.
Um, it was, it meant a lot to me to have that one on one with him versus trying to get through all five of the guys at a meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really glad I had that opportunity.
Yeah.
And same thing, I said I wasn't really sure which kind of pose to ask for. And so he said, "How about a hug?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to say no."
Right?
Okay. And so, same thing. He wrapped his arms around me and pulled me in really tight and smashed his face up against mine. I
The
was like, "All
picture's
right, I'm
so
not going to
adorable.
complain." Ah, It is. I love that picture.
Yeah, and we had
So
such
that
a
was a
good
really, really
time
good
too.
memory.
Just that whole weekend, we had so much fun.
We did. That was a really good time.
Yeah, so we got to do the sound check with AJ after the meet and greet,
Yes.
and they were being super silly and just really cute. I remember that. And I wanted to ask a question as a singer, so I did get picked to ask a question. And I remember they were standing on the stage just like really listening and concentrating to what I was saying.
Just very intently
Yeah,
looking.
very intently. And thankfully you got it on video too of me asking a question. So I basically just asked them for advice as an artist and as a singer. And they gave me some really good advice actually. Probably not anything you would think that they would say, but it was
I
really good
think
advice.
Joey's the one that really ran with it. It was something like doing it because you really genuinely love doing it.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Was that, do it because you love it, and it doesn't matter how many people you're playing in front of. Whether it's 5 people or 5,000 people, just do it because you love it. And what did AJ say? Why am I not remembering what AJ said?
Oh, my name is Nicola Lesley. That's my name. So, recently I got back into singing. So I had been singing and performing most of my life, but I got kind of derailed because of life. So I recently went back to vocal training, and I recently got into a band, and I have my first performance coming up, and the first one in 15 years. So you guys have been one of my biggest inspirations in my life, and you guys are one of the reasons why I sing and perform and continue to do what I do. So what is the best advice that you can give me? Because I'm just not trying to be like in a band just to be in a band and perform locally. Like I want to keep, and I'm in my 40s, so I know, I want to.
In your local area, do the band. I mean, I always say to people, it has nothing to do. Always do with, as far as even when we do stuff, you're like, oh, I want to aspire to be you. I want to sell out arenas or sell out this, and I want to. It's like it has nothing to do with
something.
But it's more performing, and the more you perform, I think the more you'll get more people to come, and the more you get more people to come, you'll start to feel the crowd of what they like and what they don't like. That's the other thing that we always do. When we were doing these shows at first, we were throwing songs out there to see what works, what doesn't. Trust me, there's one or two I'm like, nah, cut that out, don't cut that out. Hey, add this in, or songs that we never thought were going to be good. But always perfecting craft by getting out there, whether you're, again, what we say is, whether you're performing to 5 people, 50 people, 50,000, 5,000. I always give 110% all the time. Just keep doing what you're doing. Again, if you love doing it, who gives a crap if you're selling? You know what I mean? Who gives a crap if you're selling things out? As long as you're comfortable, you're making some sort of a decent living.
And you're doing it for you.
Project, why not?
You're doing it for you, and that's what matters most.
I can't wait to have the feeling again of being on stage.
It is a pretty good feeling, isn't it?
I literally can't wait.
That's why we
Do
do
the
it.
best. Yes, it is. That's why we do it.
So then Nick was
Oh yeah, Nick's show.
last year, like the end of last year was October, right?
Yeah, it was like a month after AJ's show.
Yeah, that was a whole day of Nick. A whole day.
Yeah, because we went to the listening party first.
Yep. That was amazing.
I have never done anything like that. That was a lot of fun.
Me either. I felt, and there was only like 20 of us, maybe?
Maybe something like that. Yeah, I was just in a little, I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was like a wine bar style type place and
Yeah.
very casual, and he was sitting on a couch. It was really nice, and I enjoyed that a
It
lot.
was cool. We got a sneak peek of the songs on his new album, his new solo album. It was very intimate. I remember he was asking us for feedback. We had like these little forms that we would fill out about what we thought about each song, and then we would have conversations back and forth with him about the songs, which was awesome that he actually wanted our opinions.
Do
and
you
our thoughts.
remember which song it was? You had some really terrific input on one of the songs that you talked to Nick about. Do you remember which song it was?
I have it written down because I still have the paper, but it's not. I remember I looked at it recently, and it's not on the album, unfortunately.
Because I remember he really loved that song, and he
did.
really wanted to make it work. He just couldn't figure out exactly how to go about it.
So it was a ballad. It was definitely a ballad. Because if you listen to the album, he doesn't have any really big, strong ballads on this album. This would have been that, for sure.
Yeah, because he has some that are kind of like ballads, but they are just a little bit too poppy to be ballads.
Yep. So this one was supposed to be his ballad. I'm a singer, and I've been doing music for a long time, and I've taken lessons in choir and all that stuff. So I know a bit about music. I had given some tips about what to do with the bridge. And I talked about, I was kind of like whispering in your ear a little bit before talking to him about like, oh, he should do this and this and this. And then right after I said that, he was saying the exact same thing to like the whole group. The exact same thing that I had said to you. So then that's when I raised my hand and him and I started talking about it. And I said, I agree that you need to put some layering on these parts of the song. And I had given a tip about the bridge and how he could take off like at a certain point to get that reach that you need to get in a ballad. We had kind of talked about that. And it was cool because he was like, huh.
Yeah, he was really into what you were saying. I wish I could remember. I mean, it was last year.
Yeah.
But he was very into it. He was like, oh, yeah, like he was very receptive and he was thinking about it. And I was hoping that it was a song that made the album because I wanted to be like, oh, Nikki helped with that one.
I know. When I
well.
first heard the album,
Maybe the
I
next
thought there
one.
was one or two that were it. And then I was like, no, it doesn't feel ballady enough for it to be the song. So I found the form and I was like, okay, yeah, it's not on there. So maybe his next one, or maybe it will be a BSB song.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I love how seriously he took the comments and the commentary and the ideas. He was actually listening.
Oh, 100%. And not just to what I said, to what everybody said. He interacted with everyone so well. Again, that's just how they are. They are incredible human beings, and they love and value their fans so much. I don't know if other artists do these things, but if they do, hopefully they're having that same type of interaction with their fans, because those are the things that we remember, and that's what really impacts their music and their longevity and all that stuff, Just
it builds the relationship between artist and fan.
Yep. And we
And
got
it's
to
really
do
important.
a picture with him there.
Yes.
And I remember I did have a little thing that I wanted to say to him there. Nick and I share similar tragedies. And that's one of the reasons why I love him, is I have that unfortunate thing in common with him. So I understand the loss of siblings and how hard it is, and loss of parents and whatnot. So him and I spoke briefly about that. And it wasn't briefly, but we didn't go into detail about it, of course. And I remember we were talking, and his bodyguard came up and was like, hey, like, we need to get taking the picture. And Nick goes, no, we're not ready for the picture yet. She's talking to me, and I want to give her her time. I remember him doing that and being like, oh, okay.
That is so respectful. I love it.
Exactly, because he said something about like, what she's telling me is important, so I want to listen to what she has to say. And
I feel like I remember hearing him say that, like something about what she's saying is important.
Yep, exactly. And it, again, reiterates they truly care and want to hear what we have to say. So we kind of shared a moment about that, and just told him that he's stronger than he probably thinks that he is, because I relate. You're not alone in the grief that you have to go through. It's like, thank you so much. And we had a really awesome hug, and we took a really cute picture together. And then, of course, we had the
Sound check was after that.
but yeah, so his sound check was fun. He was being silly and goofy like Nick always is, being as cute. And he was wearing sweats.
He looked very comfortable.
Yes, he did look very, very comfortable. The venue was interesting. It was a little weird.
The venue was weird.
And it had ocean paintings all over the walls.
I think that had to do with the location. It's like a shipping community.
Yeah.
But it was a weird venue choice because it catered to a lot of, old folks and people that just kind of show up there because they probably have season tickets. And, you look around the crowd and you were thinking, do they know why they're here?
Yep.
Do they know this is a Nick Carter
And we were in
concert?
the front row, and they had tables. It was
Tables,
weird.
like little, yes, and it
you
was
think
so
we're gonna
bizarre.
sit?
Yeah, I had no intention of sitting. And a lot of other girls had the same thought too, because you remember them starting to inch up, standing up in front of the stage,
Yep.
and I thought, if they're going to stand up, I'm going to stand up, so I got up there too.
And they tried to shoot us away multiple times, saying that, there's people trying to see because they were sitting. Again, not
No,
a show to sit at.
they said the front row can't see, so you have to sit down. And I said, we're the front row. We're the front row, and we're standing
when you
here.
grabbed a
And they said,
chair.
I'm sorry, you still got to sit down.
That's when you grabbed a chair and sat.
Yeah. Well, because some other girl did off to the side. I watched her. She said, the other security guy on the other side of
The
the
nice
room
one.
said, fine.
Yeah.
The nice one. He said, that's fine as long as you stay sitting. And so I saw that. So I grabbed a chair and I sat down because I wasn't going to miss that chance.
Yep.
Because
You were
I
right
wanted
front
to be
and
in the
center,
front.
too.
Yes. And so then everybody else started crowding around, and
They
then
finally just gave
that
up.
one security guard got mad, and he had to give up.
They gave up.
There
'cause
was too
there
many
was
people
at
at that
one
point.
point there was just too many people. They couldn't control all of us
Yeah.
30, 40-year-olds.
And this
there were
this
little
is
kids
all
too, but-
happening. This is all happening, mind you, during his opening number. So Nick is dancing around on stage, trying to give it his all, and the security's like, get out of here, get out of here. And it's like, we're trying to watch the show, and Nick is probably like, what's going on down here? Like, let them be up here.
Yep.
I'm surprised he didn't stop the show to say, just calm down. Just let them stand there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like if the old people want to like sit, that's cool, but this isn't. You're at a pop show of a 90s
Yeah.
icon. Like
Not a 90-year-old icon.
no.
A 90s icon. I'm so sorry, but we're going to stand up.
Yeah, like I mean, part of me feels bad, but at the same time no.
No, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. But and it was such a good show. Nick, he put on such an amazing show. He really did.
He really did. I wasn't sure what to expect. I mean, I'd seen a lot of the videos and pictures and things, but to actually watch the show in its entirety was a really great experience. Just the colors of the aesthetic, and then the song choices, and the way he delivered his performances were just spot on. Like, good song choices for him, and he did such a good job.
He like really put on like a rock star kind of show. Like
Yes.
he was very much like, I may be in this quote unquote boy band, but I'm also an individual artist too. Look at me,
Yes.
I'm a freaking rock star. Like that's very much how it was. And he interacted with the audience a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
So
It was great.
yeah, and we got lots of pictures
Because
and
we got to
videos
be up
from
there.
that too. So and our
Yeah.
our actual meet and greet that we got before the show. So we got to do 2 pictures with him and meet him twice that day. So it went the listening party, and then the sound check, and then the meet and greet, and then the show.
Yes.
We were the very, very last of the line, which was intentional. But I remember when when he saw me, he was like, "You again?" And I was like, "Yep, it's
Like,
me
yeah.
again." It was really cute, and I told him to pick the pose this time, so he was like, "All right, back to back like this." Like you're, I was like, "What?" And I didn't understand what he was saying at first. He was like, like a silly like 80s pose. And I was like, he's like, "Put your hand like this." I'm like, "What? Like I have a beard or something?"
I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, I don't know what to do with my hands. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's how it felt. But it was,
It turned out really cute, though.
yeah, the pictures are very, very cute. We got a huggy picture the first one, and then the pose the second one was pretty cool. So, and then you had
Yeah,
you
that was
had
a
the
great
interaction
show.
that you had, but we don't need to talk about it if you want to. So,
Yeah. No, that's a whole other story.
yeah,
It was just a good day.
yeah, it was a very magical day.
So, are there any songs that have any special meaning to you that you'd love to share?
Well, I love all of their songs, Except for I'm actually not a giant fan of I Want It That Way, like most people are. I think it's a nostalgia thing with that song. I think it's probably their worst song, to be honest, but that's just my opinion. But I love the song 10,000 Promises.
Good
And
choice.
I also love the song Like a Child. Both of those, musically, I feel like are genius, and they were never singles. The composition behind them and the vocals behind them, they're just absolutely beautiful. So I've always really enjoyed those songs. But there is a newer-ish, so not so old, song that I actually have tattooed on me. It's Show 'Em What You're Made Of. And so I have the first line from the second verse tattooed on the top of my shoulders. It's gloves are off, ready to fight, like a lion I will survive. And the reason I have that is because it reminds me of my mom. So my mom was batshit crazy, but she was also the strongest person I've ever known my entire life. My mom went through a lot of stuff. And also growing up, she used to create her Halloween costume every year, which was she would paint her face like a lion. So that line in particular always reminds me of my mom, of her strength and her painting herself like a lion. So to me, it was like she was strong like a lion, basically. So that line really sticks out. And when she was very, very sick and passing away, when I would go to visit her at the nursing home that she was at, almost every time that song would come on my streaming. Almost every time I was on my way to see her. So I don't know. It's like she was talking to me without talking to me because she couldn't communicate at that point. So it was, I don't know. She was like talking to me through the Backstreet Boys or something. I don't know. But that whole song, the whole message behind that song is beautiful. Just about being strong and overcoming and persevering and showing the world what you're made of, and not letting anything stop you. So, and it's a very inspiring song. So,
And that's part of what you got to share with the guys when you met them in 22 at the meet and greet.
Because I had just finished getting that tattoo done. And that year I had lost my brother and my mom that year. So that was part of the emotional talk behind it. And Kevin had just lost his mom. And so I think that's why he was super emotional with me. And then, each of the guys have, like Howie's lost a sister and so it was part of all of that. I love that song.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That is a really beautiful song, too.
It is.
I have to tell you something funny about that song, though. My kids love that song. They love the music video. Except they used to say, can we watch the Backstreet Boy music video where they sing in the dark? Like, okay. Do you know the music video?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they would call it.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're not saying the music video where he has his shirt off the whole time.
Yeah, no. Well, I talked to them about, vulnerability and,
which is what that is about. It's less about Brian being shirtless. It's more about being vulnerable and showing yourself, so.
Yeah, and I talked to them about Brian's scar from his heart surgery, which you can't really see in the video, but he's supposed to be kind of
wish they would
putting
have
it on display.
Put makeup on it to make it more.
Yeah, really emphasize it.
Which is why he was not wearing a shirt. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
So.
Which I told my kids, but they call it where the Backstreet Boys sing in the dark.
That's cute.
It's like, I don't mind watching that again. That's okay.
Yeah.
Are there any random Backstreet Boys stories that you feel are noteworthy that you'd love to share?
Yeah. So I'm going to share this one because of the whole, Millennium 2.0 and all that stuff that's going on right now. So this was the first one that I thought of. Back when Millennium came out, I guess it would be 1.0.
Yeah, Millennium 1.0. I haven't heard anybody call it that yet, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So this was before I had won that second set of tickets. 106.1 thought of this genius way to give tickets away to fans to Millennium. So they told everybody and anybody that wants to win Backstreet Boys tickets, come to the Huskies 7 stadium and we're gonna give out tickets. And they tell us that there's gonna be a helicopter dropping plain white envelopes from the sky into the stadium. And there was only like X amount of tickets to the show. And there was like other prizes and stuff that had nothing to do with the Backstreet Boys. I remember thinking, like, this seems really dangerous. A bunch
I'd
of
be kind of
teenage
scared.
girls running around hoping that these envelopes are going to have tickets to their favorite band's concert. Have they not
Yeah,
met...
girls can get grabby.
Yeah, have they not met teenage girls or teenage Backstreet Boy fan girls? I'm not trying to get trampled. I'm not trying to get killed. I'm not... And honestly, I don't think the guys would want or be okay with an event like that.
No, that's kind of crazy, and I don't know who approved that, but they probably got in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they ever did anything like that again, but there were girls fighting over envelopes. There were girls taking like giant handfuls and like shoving them in their shirts and doing all these.
my
There were
gosh.
girls fighting over stuff, and I watched a girl get trampled, and it was bad news bears for sure. So I'm like, that's not something that should ever be done.
Oh my gosh.
So, and I remember each time someone got an envelope with tickets, they would go, "Oh my god!" Oh! They start screaming and freaking out and stuff, and you would see everybody else like, you know. I think it was only like 5 envelopes had tickets or something like that. And I remember Joy and I being like, it doesn't seem like worth that with the
Worth the
chances.
risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if you were giving out like 500 tickets or something, but it was a very small handful of tickets they were giving out.
Yeah, that's kind of terrifying. I gotta say, you probably made the right call in standing back.
Yeah.
I would have
For
stood
sure.
back and taken pictures
Yeah. I don't think I had my
as
camera
evidence for the
on
police
me.
for later.
Nope, I want to go home in
Yeah.
one piece. Thank you.
So, how have your experiences within the fandom changed and evolved over time as you've gotten older?
Well, I think because of social media, it's changed. I mean, social media has changed the way of the world in general. But back then, it was like you didn't meet other fans in the fandom outside of going to a concert, you know, at least my experience, anyways. Or unless you were one of those people that had their own fan website that you ran, you know. But now,
And it's not the same as it is now.
yeah, but now because there's TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter and Facebook and all these things, there's so many different fan pages, you know, like your podcast is a fan-based thing. And then with their fan club has also gotten bigger, and we have more interactions with people within the fan club on their website and whatnot too. To share this love of this band and these 5 individuals with yourself is one thing, or with your close friends, but to meet so many other people across the world. And when you go to concerts, you recognize people, or you might meet somebody online. You're like, oh, I can meet you at the show. Like, I have met somebody like that myself. And we all just share this common love for these guys. And
Yeah.
nobody understands that outside of the fandom.
It's a very unique camaraderie.
It is. And it's something special that's our own. Like, we're in this secret club, you know, but it's not so secret because we're ginormous fans and they've been around for a million years, but they're the only ones that understand why we love them so much and why we followed their career. I feel like it's just brought the fandom closer together and has probably made it bigger too, because other fans can find other fans and connect to them. And I mean, I've read stuff on the fan club website where people are saying, I'm going to such and such show and I'm having to go by myself. And then they end up meeting up with other fans, or they're like, hey, let's buy tickets together.
Yeah, you're right. It's made it more like an extended family.
Yep. It very much is. So, I mean, anytime
Yeah, I love
something
that.
pops up on my social medias that's a fan-based, you know, TikTok or whatever, I'm like, oh, ad. And I'll end up like commenting and liking and all their stuff, you know? The interaction is pretty awesome.
How has being a fan changed you and changed your life?
I think for me, it's given me a light to look forward to. They are one of the few consistencies of my life. They've been around for majority of my life. These 5 incredible human beings give me a place to go to be happy. They gave me a place to go to cry. They gave me a place to go to be excited. Like, every single song, every moment with them is a part of who I am as a person and how I've evolved and how I've discovered my authentic self. They were a big part of that. And having that safe place to always go to because of who they are as individual, who they are as artists, and their music is one of the reasons I feel like they've been around for so long and why we love them so much. It's because they are that place to go to.
Yeah, I definitely feel that too. That song, "The Safest Place to Hide" of theirs, whenever I listen to that, I think, oh, it's about them.
So that's the song that I walked down the aisle to at my wedding.
Is it? Oh my gosh.
Yep, it's such a beautiful song, and it reminded me of my brother who was supposed to walk me down the aisle, but passed away 2 days before. So that song now makes me very, very emotional, and for a while it was hard for me to listen to. But the message behind it is more important. You know, but like you said, they are a safe place. You know, except for I'm not hiding, because I'm not hiding my fandom from nobody. I mean, as soon as somebody meets me, within 5 minutes, you're going to find out that I love to sing and I'm obsessed with the Backstreet Boys. So,
That's just who you are.
Yep.
It's in your DNA.
yep, it literally is my DNA.
I gotta stop telling that joke.
I've done it before, too.
The worst is when nobody gets it, and I'm just like, oh, never
Like,
mind.
oh, you're not part of the fandom? Oh, okay. That's just a me thing? Okay.
Yeah. So we are getting ready for the residency. It kicks off this weekend. And I'm not going to the first show, but I'm very excited still that it's starting. How excited are you for this residency? Tell me your thoughts, your feelings about the whole thing.
Well, I am so excited that I'm driving my happy ass to Vegas all by myself. Because ain't nothing stopping me.
I'm so sorry.
Everybody that knows me thinks I'm crazy because it's with the whole Real ID situation that's going on. I have an issue with my birth certificate, and long story short, it's going to take over a year to fix it. I can't even... Yeah, it's a whole thing. So, can't fly. I'm gonna be there. I missed the Las Vegas residency. I'm not missing this one, especially since this is so iconic with them being in the Sphere. It's a little scary. I'm a little intimidated with having to drive there by myself, but thankfully GPSs exist now, and people will have my location, so I will be okay. I mean, I'm super excited about it, and I get to meet you in Vegas and some other BSB fans as well, and we're gonna have an amazing time, and we're gonna make amazing memories, and we get to do it together. It's just another one of our BSB adventures.
Yep.
I think it will be cool.
We're gonna do how he eats,
Yeah.
and we're gonna go to the after party,
Yup.
and we are gonna have an awesome time.
Oh yeah. I'm super
And-
excited to hopefully meet and talk to Howie a little bit. I know we get to take a picture with him. So I'm hoping I'm gonna say a little something something to him. You know, that's gonna be like my teenage self going, "Oh my god," you know. And then
For you, as somebody who actually attended the original Millennium tour, what are your feelings about seeing it reborn and recreated, coming back and doing it again?
I'm excited about it because it was such a iconic time in music history in general, with their Millennium album, and then for them to still be going strong 25 years after that album. And we get to see them kind of remake every single song. We get to see them perform every single song. So we didn't get to see them play every single song the first time they did that tour. Because, no tour do you rarely play every song on the album. This one, they are performing every single song on the album. Probably with some stuff mixed in there from other albums, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
that's going to be really awesome to see it, every single one. See what they've kept from the original show. I've seen some of the pictures and videos here and there from online, so I kind of have an idea, They're definitely going to wear those blue futuristic outfits. Who knows
Yeah.
if they're going to be on hoverboards like they were last time.
I don't think they are. It would
I
be
don't think that
cool.
they will either, but and then to see what they're gonna do with the whole Sphere in general. I'm not there for the Sphere experience, which is why we got tickets down in the front in the pit area. I'm there for the
Yeah.
guys. I
Yeah.
appreciate the aesthetic. I appreciate the hard work, and I admire that technology that they put in behind it. But like you and I talked about before, we just need the guys on stage. Not even necessarily have to be on stage. I just need them there doing their thing, and I'm happy. I don't need all the other
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I would take a quiet acoustic tour
For real.
anytime.
Yep.
Anytime.
Just them and their voices and their talent and them being their amazing selves. That's all I need. But
Yeah.
in the way of Millennium, it will be interesting to see how they elevate it to the next level, because that tour for the time frame was huge. All the things that they did was huge. So it'll be interesting to see that. And then of course 2.0, I want to hear the other songs.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have the new single. I love it. I listened to it on repeat.
You're talking about Hey?
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's a great
It's
song.
sad, but it's good. So, but yeah, I can't wait to hear the other, what is it, like four other songs, I think?
I don't know if there's going to be any other new songs or if they're just some remastered songs, not even re-recordings, they're remastered originals. They are also going to be releasing some demos on it.
Yeah, which will be really cool.
Yes.
So, to hear it's kind of in its, where it originated from is pretty awesome. Because that was their first album where Jive allowed them to have input on their songs, and they got to collaborate and co-write probably not enough songs on that album, but
Yeah.
a handful of songs they got to write and collaborate on those. So, and then from there they continued to get to have more and more say so once they got rid of Jive Records. So yeah, so but yeah, I think it will be awesome, and I may be dead tired when I get there, but nothing's killing my vibe.
That's right. You're going to get there. It's going to be a good time.
Yep.
Just you getting there is making history,
Yep.
really.
The world could be ending. Okay? If they're still showing that show, I'm still going. If that's where I die, I'm okay with it.
What's that movie that they performed in? This is the
This
end.
is the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
If this is the end, then the Backstreet Boys are there and it must be heaven.
Exactly. Which is why they were in heaven at the end with Seth Rogen. Hello.
That's right. Nikki,
Yes.
is there anything that you would like to say to the fans?
I just want to say, one, you're not in this fandom alone. We got each other's back for the last 32 years, and that will always continue. Thank you for sticking it out for this long, especially during the hard times when they were not getting as much recognition or as much airtime or as much of a following back then. Us hardcore fans stuck it out with them through that patch. We stuck it out with them through their ups and downs as individuals and as a band. So without us continuing to love them, they may not still be here. So thank you to my fellow fans for continuing that so that we could continue to have them.
That's awesome
Yeah.
and true. Mm-hmm. And is there anything that you would like to say to any of the guys, either individually or as a whole?
Probably as a whole, a big giant thank you to them because, they have been there for everything and they have sacrificed a lot for us. They've sacrificed a lot of time with their family. They've sacrificed time with their kids, with their wives. They've sacrificed their body, their mind, their spirit, every part of them as a human. They have sacrificed for us. And for themselves, obviously, because they're performers and that love of being on stage and being a performer, it does not leave you. But without us driving them, they probably wouldn't be doing it. So they have done so much for us. And I hope that we're giving the same thing in return to to them. Also, they've always been upfront and honest with us about everything.
Yes.
They could have lied to us multiple times when the music industry told them to, or when their managers told them to lie to us about stuff, but they haven't. They were honest with us about Nick and AJ's addiction. They were honest about Brian and his struggles and his heart issues, and his political views may be different from most of us, you know, and Kevin dealing with his family stuff and leaving the group for a while, and Howie adventuring the entire world of estate, you know, like, and him losing his sister and whatnot. They've always been forthcoming about who they are as individuals, and like, hey, look at us, we may be these superstars, but we're still people. We still have flaws. We're not perfect. And we're not going to portray that we're perfect because we're human just like you. So, and I appreciate that, but that's part of why we love them, is because of that. So, just a big thank you to
They
them.
kept themselves
Yep.
relatable.
Yep, exactly.
I love that.
Yep.
What have the Backstreet Boys given you that you will carry with you forever?
Well, their music, for one. Their beautiful, wonderful, magical voices, and them as people. And, you know, like I said before, the just always having a safe place to go. No matter if I'm 10 years old, 30 years old, 50 years old, or 100 years old. Even after they're gone and everybody else is gone, they're still there. You know what I mean? Everything that they've given to us is still there. So I'm always going to have that safe place to go when I need to laugh or cry or be excited, or, you know, whatever it is in the moments that life throws. I'm always going to have that.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
Of course.
Well, Nikki, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing all your stories and your pictures and your memories with me. And it has been a lot of fun. And you reminded me of a lot of things that I'd forgotten about. So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm really excited for Vegas. We're going to
Same.
have a really good time. And is there anything else that you want to say?
Nope, I'm just super excited. I'm glad that I got to be your first guest on your podcast. And I'm also beyond stoked for Vegas. And it's going to be a good time. And to everybody out there watching and listening, KTBSPA.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Okay.
Bye.
See you guys later. Bye.